Hello friends, in today's episode we look into the best potting mix or the potting soil recipe for indoor container gardening. The various ingredients used and the function of each will be explained with simple concepts. Coming up. Before we start, please make sure you're subscribed to this channel along with the bell notification. Well, urban gardening or small space gardening in containers is on the rise, and the number of people growing plants indoors is also on the rise. The most important aspect of container gardening is the potting medium used, because this, along with light and moisture, will be the most important factor to help your plants grow healthier and disease free. I never use the commercial potting mixes available, which are in fact too expensive. I rather prefer to make my own homemade potting mix recipe for both my indoor as well as outdoor plants. You can check out my video on the best potting mix formula for outdoor plants from an end screen link at the end of this episode. Now, let's start looking at the ingredients we use to prepare our indoor soil mix one by one. We list out the formula or the recipe with the proportions of each ingredient used shortly. The first and foremost ingredient is the garden soil. This forms the major component of an outdoor potting soil recipe because one of its major function is plant anchorage, which is very important for outdoor plants which can be easily knocked down by strong winds. We'll use garden soil in our indoor potting mix too, but in smaller quantity. Then the second major component is coco peat or peat moss. I prefer coco peat because it's easily available and inexpensive with a neutral pH. Plus, mixing this with the garden soil removes the compactness of the garden soil and makes it well draining. This forms the major ingredient of our indoor potting mix. It's available as a compact brick or even in powdered form. The coco peat brick can be easily reconstituted into the coco peat powder by mixing it with water. One brick of about 5 kgs will give you a large volume of up to 75 liters of coco peat powder. Then the next component is compost, like vermicompost or decomposed cow dung or horse dung powder or both. Compost manure is an essential component of any potting mix to provide the major and minor plant nutrients like the NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, along with the trace elements. We already discussed this in our previous episodes on the basics of indoor gardening. Then the next component is neem cake powder. This is optional, but adding this will take care of any fungus and harmful bacterial growths and protects your plants. Then bone meal powder. This is again optional but very useful if you are growing vegetables or even flowering plants indoors under grow lights. This will induce flowering and fruiting if mixed with potting soil. Then the sixth component is perlite, vermiculite or pumice, or all the three. All these serve the same purpose of making a well-draining potting mix plus adding a good aeration system for the roots. Among these, vermiculite should be used cautiously because it holds a lot of moisture and can rot your plants, especially succulent plants. Then vermiculite can be used for water-loving plants like the lucky bamboo and others. Pumice and perlite are the best options. Among these two, the main drawback of perlite is it gets crushed into powder if you use it along with too much garden soil, and in this case, pumice is the best option. Garden pumice or horticultural pumice is available in various grades or sizes and it cannot be crushed unlike perlite. You can find the links to purchase these items online in the description below. Now, quickly before the potting mix formula or the recipe, let's know the difference between the potting mix and the potting soil. Potting mix is simply a mixture of all the above ingredients minus the garden soil. That means it is a soilless medium. On the other hand, it's called potting soil when you use garden soil in the mixture. That's simple, but most often these two terms are used synonymously. Well, now here in this recipe, considering the importance of plant anchorage, we'll be using garden soil too, but in small quantity. Now let's take a look into the actual recipe of this indoor potting soil. Coco peat forms about 40 to 50% of this mix. Then garden soil about 10 to 20%. Then perlite or pumice or both about 20%. compost like vermicompost or cow dung powder, or a mixture of both about 20% depending on what you want to grow. For instance, for veggies and flowering plants, you can increase this to 30%. For ornamental plants, 10 to 20% is sufficient. This can also be added later on the top layer of the soil, like a handful of it per container once or twice in a month. Then optionally you can add about 5% bone meal plus neem cake powder. If you're not aware of these ingredients, you can check out my detailed videos on each of these from links in the description below. So there you have it, folks. This is the best organic potting mix recipe for indoor gardening. Please like, share and comment below with your feedback and queries. Consider subscribing if you're new to this channel. Happy gardening!